If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and the best is blessed, baby.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It's time!
Good morning.
What up? What up?
What's up, bro?
Another day, another day.
Not just another day. Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah. I was more excited about last night than I am about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could miss the Super Bowl and be okay.
Because you feel like you know who's gonna win already.
Not even that. It's just, I don't know. I guess probably just because they're in it. You feel me? I'm over it.
Yeah. What's up, dog?
But we are here to break down UFC 312. Everything that happened and didn't happen, I guess.
Yeah.
What up, Lucas, dog? So, I guess we could just get right into it. What you thought about the card overall?
Overall, I thought the card, it was a little underwhelming. It wasn't the best card ever. It wasn't a straight up dud. Like, I was disappointed in it, but I feel like last pay-per-view card was better, to be honest.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
6.5, 7.
I'll give it a solid 6. It was a little disappointing, but it's crazy because looking at the card before the pay-per-view, I thought that it was going to be underwhelming, but I thought that it was going to be some pretty I thought the co-main and the main event would save us. Both of those fights were kind of boring. And overall, the card was just, I feel like that's two events in a row kind of that was disappointing to me.
Well, the last event, it was more so disappointing because of the pullout from Strickland, you know?
No, I'm saying not last two pay-per-views, last two events.
Oh, last two events, yeah. Well, last event, it was disappointing for me just because of the final result. It took a lot of spirit out of me. I ain't gonna lie, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, even looking at the fights like that you thought would deliver, like MVP fight, you knew what that was going to be. So I mean, you shouldn't have had too many high expectations for that. Then when you go into the heavyweight fight, that was like a snooze fest. The main event, the result was disappointing, but I can't say it was boring. And yeah, the card overall just kind of, I don't know. But I digress. We started off the night with Quillen Sakil versus Anshul Jubilee. Quillen was making his UFC debut. Took him just 18 seconds to dispose of Anshul Jubilee. I mean, not really much more to say about that. He caught him with a mean overhand left actually, and dropped him, and that was it. The ref jumped in and stopped it. Everybody thought that what up, Thinking Black? Everybody thought that some people thought the stoppage was early. I was okay with it. I feel like the way Jubilee reacted when he hit the ground, he just, first of all, he hit the ground pretty hard. Second of all, he covered up instantly. So the ref went in to stop it, but then as he was going in to stop it, he tried to get up and start wrestling, but it was too late. So I can understand how he was arguing the stoppage, but I get it 100%.
It's all right. Two things can be true. It was a bad stoppage, but I don't blame the ref because, like you said, the way he landed, it was like a flash knockout, and he thought he was out. He did eat maybe 2 follow-up shots, but he recovered pretty quickly, and he started trying to, shoot for the leg and go for the takedown. But I don't blame the ref for this because the way he fell, you know what I mean? It was pretty bad, but he recovered quick though. But at the time, you didn't know he was going to recover like that, so the referee already started stepping in, before he shot for the takedown. So.
I'm not even gonna say like it's the way he recovered. It's the way he reacted before he recovered. He just covered up and he gave the universal sign for "I'm done." You feel me?
Now this guy is he's an Indian. I want to say a superstar. He's an Indian athlete who has aspirations of making it big in the UFC because we never really seen an Indian fighter in the UFC. This is my second time seeing him fight, and the last time it didn't go his way either. So I'm starting to question.
Because of Mike Breeden, right?
Yep.
He was literally barking in his face like a dog. It was going good for him till it wasn't, but he came back.
And see, so that's 2 different ways he done lost because I don't see it. He was winning that fight. He was dominant, and he's good at being the hammer, but not the nail. So I don't know where he goes from here. But as you can see, that was performance of the night from Quillen. So that was pretty good. It was bro. The pop that the sound that the crowd made, it like almost like it had my speakers sounding crazy just because of how loud it was.
Shit, the sound that the shot made was crazy.
Yeah.
And then next up in the welterweight bout, we had Jonathan Mikhailov versus Kevin Jousset. Kevin Jousset pretty much just got styled on for most of the fight. The first round was kind of close, but then Mikhailov ran through him in the second and third round. He had nasty body kicks, turned his whole side red. He kept hitting him with the body kick, and then he went high, caught him with a head kick that rocked him pretty good. I thought he was gonna get him out of there with that, but Jousset held in there and made it to the next round. But from that point on, those kicks were a problem, and he just never regained his footing from there.
Man, you want to talk about loud sounding strikes, bro? The way he was tearing up that body and even the forearm, like Kevin Jousset, his forearm was red, his leg was red, his ribs were red, a little bit, and his back was red. It was pretty crazy.
That whole side,
for some reason, it just remind me of when I do a career on UFC, and I don't have all my skills yet, so I just start spamming body kicks and leg kicks, because I don't got all the resources yet. But he was tearing them up though. He was like, I feel like Jonathan will need to evolve his game a little bit more to get to the next level because I don't think you're gonna be able to just kick like that and get away with it for too long, but that was a pretty good victory by him. The UFC debut too. I've seen him on the
Yeah.
Contender Series.
For the first two fights of the night, the guys making a debut pretty much just dominated. That was a recurring theme for the night. This fight right here, lightweight bout, Ron Zhu versus Cody Steele.
Who was a heavy favorite?
Yeah, heavy favorite. Probably the biggest favorite on the card. And the first round was probably the round of the year so far. They were trading back and forth. Cody Steele, a highly touted wrestler. He got one takedown in the first round, but Rongju pretty much reversed them and ended up on top. So then they worked back to their feet. And Cody Steele tried one more takedown and couldn't get it, and he abandoned it completely. It was obvious that Rongju had the power advantage. I feel like he wasn't letting his hands go until he realized he could defend the wrestling. And once he realized that, he started letting his hands go. And he obviously had the more powerful strikes. It was clear that he was more powerful on the feet. He was more technical on the feet. He was faster. The reach was a lot for Cody Steele to deal with. Both guys show a hell of a heart and hell of a chin. Cody Steele cracked Rongju, and I thought he was going to get him out of there, but Rongju recovered and cracked Cody Steele right back, and that's when the power differential was evident. A real back and forth first round. I thought both guys had a chance to get finished, but when it went to the second, Rongju just started pulling away.
Yeah.
For not being finished in that fight, man, because he was eating some shots. And
Yeah.
one thing Rongju did that was kind of impressive that he kept going to, and Cody Steele had no answer for it, was when Cody Steele would first of all, I feel like he overextended himself when he was throwing a lot of those shots, and that's what got him pieced up and countered. And then when he tried to close the distance, Rongju would time him coming in with a calf kick that'll kind of knock him off balance, and then as soon as he knocked him off balance, he'll hit him with a 3-piece, and he did that at the time.
There was a lot of storylines coming into this fight. Number one was that they were forming training partners, and the rumor was Cody Steele get the best of him on the ground. Also, another story coming into this fight, Cody Steele, he only had 7 fights, 7-0 undefeated. Rongju, he's, I believe, 24 years old, and he already has about 30 fights because he started fighting when he was 16, I believe. Usually the Asian fighters do start earlier, pro careers. So I feel like that experience kind of played a part in this fight because Cody Steele is used to just getting guys out. He used to being the bull. You know, he already kind of win fights before they start because of his reputation and everything like that, him being a hot prospect. And when he hit Rongju and rocked him pretty nasty, he thought that was it, and he thought he could finish him, and he used a lot of energy trying to finish him. It didn't go down like that. Rongju was able to piece him up. He was able to stuff the takedowns, which is pretty impressive. I didn't see that coming. And he even started sticking his tongue out, having fun with it. You know, and once you see a fighter is that comfortable in the octagon to where they can have fun and still piece up their opponent, I have a lot of respect for that, and it's pretty impressive to see. I think Cody still got a bright future, you know, in the UFC, but tonight wasn't his night, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I agree with you. He showed that he can be the nail. He just couldn't figure out any answers. I would like to see him make a few tweaks here and there offensively, and I would have liked to see him try to stick to the game plan with the wrestling, but
yeah, I feel like he was head hunting too much, basically.
Yeah.
Wrong shoe and press. All right, bro. I'll say this one for you. Kobe Thickness, the training partner of Alexander Volkanovski versus Alexandre Topuria, the brother of my boy Ilya Topuria.
Go ahead, go for it.
All right, so for this one, Kobe Thickness, he's undefeated. Uh, Taporia, I believe he's had 6 fights. He's 5-1 on a 3-fight winning streak. You can see the resemblance, between him and his brother. He's like the more so like the bull because he was controlling the fight, the pace of the fight, but at the same time he wasn't throwing as much of a volume. But then when he did land, I feel like he had the power punches or the more power. He threw in a few body shots, what I love to see. Because he'd get Kobe up against the cage, and Kobe would throw his guard up, and instead of head hunting, still he was just ripping the body. I thought that was pretty cool. He did drop him, I believe, in the first round. DC and Bisbee was DC more so was kind of saying that he should be going forward more and using more volume, but me and Bisbee kind of disagreed because this is how he fights, you know what I mean? And also, this is why he was able to still have the same energy in the third round he was able to have in the first round because he don't use no wasted motion, no wasted punches, and nothing like that. And that's just like how Taporia is. Everything he does is with an intention. He don't just throw things, just throw it out there. Kind of like how I feel DDP does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, so Taporia, he's more calculated, more measured. He's very, very technical, very technical. You don't see him headhunting a whole lot. He uses his combinations pretty good. And apparently he does have some good jiu-jitsu. We didn't really get a chance to see that in this fight, but I'm very, very excited to see what his UFC future is going to be.
Yeah, both guys look like they got a high ceiling. Thickness took this fight on short notice. He kind of reminded me of a Corey Sandhagen in a way. With his like frantic movement, constant stance switches, kind of slippery on the ground, but he just didn't really have any too much power on his punches. It was the classic battle of volume versus effectiveness. You get what I'm saying? Because Thickness had way more volume, way more movement. He was on his bike the whole time, kind of trying to stay on the outside. But when Taporia committed to a shot, that shot was very effective. And I noticed that one thing him and his brother both have in common is they put that forward pressure on you immediately and get you backed up to the fence before you know it, and then that's when they unleash.
Oh, bro, another thing too. Oh my goodness, the head movement of Taporia. Bro, there were times where Cody would throw 4 punch combinations and Taporia would just move his head out of every single one of them, bro. You feel me? And just getting closer at the same time. And I feel like that's going to take him a long way because it's one thing to have a chin or whatever, but if you can't be hit, that defense is just amazing to me. I love to see it.
Thinking Black said he earned the right to have Zay say his name on air. That's progress.
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what both of these guys' ceiling should be.
Hey, I'm gonna make a prediction, bro. I feel like Kobe Thickness is gonna be like the 20-fight UFC vet when it's all said and done. I'm not saying that he's gonna be a contender or he's gonna be a champion, but I can see him, being like a future gatekeeper. What's up, Xavier Martinez? Kobe Thickness wasn't enough to withstand Taporia's power. All right.
So next up, we had the Joker, Wayne Kong versus Bruno Brazil. And this was like another one-sided fight. The first round was the closest round. Wayne Kong was clearly outclassing her. And as the rounds went on, it just got worse and worse. Hit her with some mean calf kicks. And she just pretty much was outclassing her the whole fight. Bruno Brazil had a couple times where she actually turned and ran away. A la Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Just literally turned and ran away. I thought she was going to get finished a couple times. I think it was all she could do to make it to the decision, man. So now the Fighting Nerds are 0-2 this year. What's going on?
Yeah, I think Bueno Silva messed that up. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore how you just do some McGregor shit out there, but
I mean,
hey, listen, I picked Bruno Brazil because just because she's from the Fighting Nerds, and I seen Wayne Kong get overzealous in her last fight. She was undefeated, and then she just kind of played with her foot a little bit and got caught, got dropped, and got submitted. She showed more patience in this one. She was clearly the better fighter. She lost like maybe the first 2 minutes of the fight, I would say, and then after that, she even took control and just pretty much dominated the fight. Bruna Brazil, she didn't really want to stand in the pocket with her, like my brother said. She was running a lot, so this was a pretty one-sided fight right here.
when I say running, I mean literally like turning your back and running.
I know
Like
what you mean.
if that cage wasn't there, then like I mean,
Hey,
I
like
wouldn't be surprised.
the girl from Nate Diaz camp, Chelsea something. I don't remember her last name.
Chandler.
Yeah, remember
I
that
mean,
fight?
if that cage wasn't there, yeah, I do. I wouldn't have been surprised if she would have actually tried to climb the cage and get out of there. Like she was literally like being chased around the octagon. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Not much more to say on that one. I mean, it was just a one-sided. Clearly, this fight is better than that one. Interested to see what she do in that flyweight division. Next up, we had Slava Claus, Vyacheslav Borishev versus Tom Nolan.
That's a nice name.
What, Vyacheslav Borishev?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is actually the striking coach at Alpha Male. Yeah, this was a pretty good fight. It was back and forth. Tom Nolan did get the dub, but I honestly, I mean, I felt like this is one of those fights where it looked more competitive than the way it was scored. I feel like Tom Nolan just did a little bit more in every round, but all 3 rounds were pretty competitive. I don't remember. I don't know. Like I could have seen this being a split decision, but split or unanimous, it don't matter. It's still like you can. I've seen fights that were closer be unanimous decisions than some fights that were split decisions. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of times that don't really tell you how close the fight was. It just tells you how those 3 people saw it.
Yeah. This fight was pretty entertaining. Obviously, kind of back and forth, but
yeah, this is one of the better fights on the card, actually.
Yeah, but we all agree that Tom Nolan should have won. You know, whether it was split or unanimous. I feel like another thing too was he cut him from the bottom, and that kind of played into it a lot too.
Yeah, I think that was real big when Slava Claus was on top and he was getting landed on more. I'm like, damn, he getting his ass kicked from the bottom.
And then I remember he got hit with an up kick too.
Yeah.
You know, so it just kind of seemed like no matter what he did, Tom Nolan was always just a half a step ahead. Nolan, I believe in round 2, he threw like 4 straight spinning back kicks, which I wasn't really a fan of. I feel like and he hit like 2 or 3 of them too, and that was a crazy thing. You know, I feel like Borishev, he kind of disappointed me in this fight. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like he could have the classic Borishev would have had a performance like this, but
yeah, I think his age is starting to show, man. He had a long kickboxing career before he came to the UFC, and now he's been in the UFC for a while. I feel like his last fight made me feel like his chin is going.
Yep.
But last night showed that maybe that's not true. Yeah, it was an entertaining fight. I was pulling for Borishev. Tom Nolan definitely did earn the victory, but it was a highly competitive fight. I feel like Tom Nolan kind of elevated his game to another level. I think Borishev brought out the best in him.
Yep. And he also had him in some close submissions too. All right.
Next up, Gabriel Santos versus Jack Jenkins. This fight was actually pretty fun too. Both guys almost got finished in the first round. Jack Jenkins landed a nasty head kick that dropped Santos, and then he got on top of Santos and started trying to do some ground and pound. Then Santos locked up a triangle slash armbar at the same time. Don't know how the hell Jack Jenkins got out of that, but he survived it. And in the second round, Jack Jenkins got hit with a head kick, and it kind of rocked him. Well, it did rock him. He never really recovered from it, and it was one of those front kicks too.
Yeah,
he never recovered from it. Almost knocked his mouthpiece out. He backed up to the cage. Santos jumped on him, took his back, got the body locks in, slunk in the rear naked choke, and that choke was pretty deep. Once he pulled him back and they hit the ground, I knew that Jack Jenkins was not going to escape that choke.
Yeah. You pretty much nailed it. Jack Jenkins dropped him with a head kick and got caught in his guard and almost got submitted in the first round. And he eventually got himself submitted later on in the fight. This was pretty back and forth, pretty entertaining. One of the better fights of the night.
Hey, Santos, the way he took that back and something that choke in, it was so Charles Oliveira-esque.
Yeah. Yep.
Shoots a box. Now we get to the main card opener, where we had Francisco Prado versus Jake Matthews. And this fight was actually pretty entertaining too. It was very back and forth. Both guys were throwing heat the whole time. Jake Matthews was he had more power in his shots. He was obviously the bigger fighter, and he was more aggressive. But he did get hit with a couple counters. He pretty much just showed his experience and kind of like cruised through the fight. I wouldn't say cruised through it because he did take a lot of damage himself, but I just feel like every time he got hit, he returned and he had the higher output. And by the third round, you can see who was the fresher fighter. You can see who took the most damage, and Jake Matthews kind of did what he was supposed to do here.
Yeah, this was a good win for Jake Matthews. He getting like on a little win streak here, which is pretty cool. We seen him grow up in the octagon, you know. Yeah. They were both throwing some heavy haymakers and landing some hard shots. I just feel like Matthews, I would say he was a little bit more technical, and he was catching them with some bombs too. Prado is very tough. I became a fan of him when I seen him fight Chepe. I'm just interested to see where Jake Matthews go from there. See if he can crack the top 10 or something like that. You know?
Yeah, man. I think he can. I'm more curious to see how they match him up next. I feel like since he went on that losing streak, they kind of been trying to build him back up slowly, and it's been working. So I'm interested to see what happens when he fights somebody like in the top 10. You called out Neil Magny, right?
Yeah, he did actually. That's a good fight. They should make that happen.
Yep.
And Neil Magny not ranked right now either, so it makes sense. And after that, he should get a ranked fighter definitely.
Next up, we had Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. This fight I did not expect to go the distance, and it did. Jimmy Crute was obviously gassed. He had the high output. The first round he took him down and pretty much dominated on the ground, took him down early. The second round he was just throwing a lot more haymakers. But towards the middle of the second round, he started getting countered. You could tell he was obviously tired. And you know what's crazy? I did not realize this was a draw. I thought Jimmy Crute won.
Yeah, this was a draw because the first round he dropped him and was ground and pounding him and almost finished the fight. So the first round was a 10-8, and everybody scored it a 10-8. Even the judges gave it a 10-8, but then he lost the last two rounds. So His leg was getting tore up. Where he wasn't checking his leg kicks too much. He was just getting pieced up as far as the leg kicks. He was still throwing shots, but you can tell he got gassed pretty early in the second round, I would say. And I agree with it being a draw because the first round was clearly a 10-8, and he easily could have lost the last two rounds.
Yeah, I just wanted somebody to get finished, man.
Yeah.
This fight busted up a parlay for me. But even if it wouldn't have happened like that, the next fight would have busted the parlay anyway. I did horrible on the betting tip last night.
Justin Batman Taffa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Hey, this was a good one. Even though
36 seconds.
Yeah, this was a weird one because even though Teixeira was the favorite, everybody I know was picking Taffa to win, and I picked Teixeira.
I thought Taffa was gonna win by knockout.
Yeah, Teixeira got him with a nasty kick to the body and backed him up. Pretty. As soon as he got hit with that body kick, he backed up to the octagon, and then Teixeira clinched him, and then he caught him with another knee to the body, and then the elbow to the face, and it dropped Justin Taffa like I never seen before, and he just that was it pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Not much to break down there. I mean, Taliesin Teixeira didn't get hit. Probably not once for a guy who absorbs 7 strikes per minute. It was pretty crazy to see. And I never seen Justin Taffa get put down like that because he does have a hell of a chin, but that elbow was flush on the nose, actually pushed it in a little bit. And that was pretty much it, like you said. UFC debut, another UFC debut with a dub.
Oh, yeah. He gonna easily get like 2 or 3 fights and be a ring contender because it's the heavyweight division.
Yeah, heavyweight division isn't deep at all. Next up, we had the women's strawweight championship, and Zhang Weili defending her. We had the defending undisputed champion, Zhang Weili, future Hall of Famer Zhang Weili, versus the challenger, undefeated Tatiana Suarez. This fight starts out, Tatiana Suarez gets the takedown immediately and couldn't hold Zhang Weili down. Zhang Weili ended up getting a sweep and reversed her, and she ended up on top. And once that happened, bro, it was like all downhill from there. And from that point going forward, Tatiana was like pretty much stifled. I mean, she tried to get another takedown, couldn't get the takedown, ended up on her back. And Zhang Weili just dominated it and showed that everybody was disrespecting her, and that's by putting her as the underdog. And I don't think we'll ever see that again. She pretty much, it was a clean sweep. She won all 5 rounds, in my opinion. She caught Tatiana with some mean strikes too. Like I thought she could have finished her at one point. She had a really rock. Never seen Tatiana face that kind of adversity. But she did show that she had heart. She had a nasty cut on her knee. Tatiana did too, because one time she shot for a takedown and ended up running her knee straight into the bottom of the cage. And it was like a nasty, nasty cut on the knee. But she got dominated in the striking. She got dominated in the grappling. It was just...
It was beautiful. Yeah. It was amazing. Xavier Martinez. I still can't believe Jane was the dog going into this fight. Did we forget her free plastic surgery on Joanna?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, man. I took this bet straight up, and I wanted a little bit off of this, because I couldn't understand why she was a dog. Tatiana, she's a specialist, but Weili, she's an all-around fighter. Tatiana, I never even seen her in the 5-round fight. We never seen her face adversity. Outlaw 77. I missed that knee on the cage replay. Yeah, I did too. But yeah, Tatiana got a takedown. We all got excited, and she probably controlled her for maybe a minute and a half, and then Weili got the sweep, and And my brother said she took control of the fight from there. It was a lot of times where Tatiana got desperate and she was just shooting for a takedown and Weili just stuff it and then just
Jesse
beat her.
Taylor-esque, I might add.
You said Jesse Taylor?
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
that boy
it
used
was
to take down so desperate.
it was so beautiful. It was a very artful the way she was even getting on top of her. And I said too, we never seen Suarez offer her back. Um, we never seen her face so busted up before. I was real happy with this one. I was watching the press conference with Dana this morning, and as he was talking, he was saying that Wei Lee and her team was standing out, waiting for him to come and talk to him. And they asked him, what do you think she's going to ask? He was like, I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm probably going to say yeah. So I think she's going to ask to probably move up and fight Valentina.
I mean, there's nothing else here for her to do in this weight class. She done ran through it. If I was Manon Fiorot, I would be trying to sign a Valentina contract right now because
Yeah.
Weili might take that from her. And everybody
Yep.
thought that Tatiana would be able to dominate with wrestling because Rose Namajunas did it. And I get the logic, but Rose Namajunas is not just a wrestler; she's also a striker. So, and she has damn good striking. So I feel like she was able to set up her takedowns, whereas Tatiana, we already knew that was her only path to victory.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Wei Lee is a better fighter now than she improved since she fought Rose.
Yeah, and Rose is a martial artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tatiana, she a specialist. You feel me? So, you know, but
She also has 100% submission success rate, meaning if she go for submission, she get it. Last night she jumped to Gilly and didn't get it, so that was probably the first time that ever happened to her. And I'm sure that threw her off too.
yeah, I never seen that before. 100% finish rate submission wise. Her and who was it? Renato Moicano, or the other one is the other one, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But I said before the fight, like, I don't think she could submit her. I just didn't see that happening.
All right. That's pretty much it for that one. Last but not least, we had the main event of the evening, the undisputed defending middleweight champ Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. And this fight was just a one-sided beatdown. Sean Strickland didn't really do anything in this fight. He wouldn't let his hands go. No volume whatsoever. And Dricus just pretty much styled on him. Sean Strickland, most savage shit I've seen in a while. Got his nose broken in the third round. And when he got his nose broken, he was literally sitting there like he reset it himself in the middle of the fight. Just was resetting it. That was some savage shit. But that was the only highlight of Sean Strickland in this fight. Landed a few shots, but I mean, this is just one-sided the whole way through. And it wasn't like a one-sided ass whooping that was like for example, when Cody Steele got beat up, that was exciting. You feel me?
Yeah,
It was one-sided and it was dominant, but it wasn't really that exciting. It was just it had that savage moment, but other than that, I mean. And did you see? Apparently, Sean Strickland had staff too. Not saying that's why he lost. I feel like the way that fight went, he would have lost regardless. But I mean, I feel like that could be why he didn't have the output that he should have had.
yeah. I was disappointed in this fight because
Yeah, me
of
too.
Sean Strickland. Um, he literally just 1-2 teep kick the entire fight. Like he didn't really. He threw.
Not even
He had.
the entire fight. Most of the fight, he wasn't doing nothing.
He did have a few moments where he was throwing some hooks and what was blocking them, but um, I don't know. I did hear him say something about, oh, I felt something and I had to push it back in. So maybe he was talking about his nose. I was wondering if he had like a shoulder injury or forearm broke. I don't know, but Rodriguez did his thing. He's done and still undisputed champion. Obviously, he's gonna fight Tamayo next. My brother suggested that Calballo fight Nasruddin Imavov, which I think is a good one. Who do you think Strickland should fight next?
The loser of Cannonier versus Rodriguez.
Even though Cannonier lose and do a rematch?
Because Sean Strickland wanted that rematch anyway, because he felt like a lot of people felt like he won that fight.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, that's a good way to move forward with these two guys. I felt like too, no matter who won this fight, was going to lose to Chimaev anyway. So,
man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not convinced Chimaev's going to dominate DDP, and DDP is going to be a heavy dog on that one too. So
what you betting DDP?
I reserve the right to make my pick. I ain't gonna do it yet. I don't know, but I'm interested to see though.
Yeah, so like I said, overall this card was pretty underwhelming. Kind of disappointing.
What did you give it, bro? I think I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6. Definitely wouldn't have been worth the $80. UFC need to come harder in the next couple weeks to redeem themselves from these last two cards. They each had some good, and two fights fell off this card too. But so I mean they've I don't know. I feel like the last card on paper looked like it was going to be fire, but it really wasn't. This card on paper, you kind of knew what to expect, but you was hoping that it was going to be one of those where, all right, there's some interesting matchups. I mean, name value wasn't there, but maybe this is going to be one of those cards that over deliver.
Yeah.
But it didn't, and they just need to tighten up, man.
Yeah, I agree. Next week we got Cannonier and RoboCop. So that should be interesting. Looking forward to that.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I was just very happy with Whaley winning. I'm interested to see her and Shevchenko fight. Trevor said you sound depressed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was pretty disappointing, man. Like, you know, these Saturday cards be my I look forward to Saturday for this reason every week. Like once Sunday come, I can't wait for Saturday.
Hey, we gotta keep it real, man. We always praise them when they put on these amazing bangers, but sometimes they have duds, and
I gotta call a spade a spade.
Yeah, this one was a dud, definitely.
So yeah, it was pretty depressing. It was pretty upsetting. Disappointed. And that's probably why I feel the way I feel this morning. Like I just feel so blah. Like something missing from the weekend.
Yeah. But now I got nothing more to add, bro.
All right, people. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to everybody on Twitter. Thanks to everybody on YouTube. Hit the like, subscribe, and hopefully fights next week will be better than they were the last 2 weeks. Let's go Eagles.
Yeah, hopefully the Eagles take it, but I'm very doubtful.
All right. Till then, peace.
Peace.
Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Being smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find what I rhyme is not a lie. Come take a walk through my heart, a stroll through my soul. Being smart from the start, wasn't taught, wasn't told. You could climb through my mind, or fly through my eye. And in time you will find